Hello, this is Christian. In this video, I'm going to do a video on the IntelliJ idea for creating Java projects. So if you don't want to use Eclipse or NetBeans or other tools, IntelliJ IDEA is one of the best tools out there. It is a commercial product, so it's not free, but they do give you a free 1-year license for students and faculty. So to do that, just make sure you go to their site. I'm going to go over here, and if you go to their JetBrains.com, okay, you can see all their products here. Now, to register, you don't want to do directly on this screen. You want to go, so if you go here, it's going to ask you to log in and then or sign up, right? You don't want to do it from here. You want to go to the student section. So if you go back to the home page, scroll all the way to the bottom, and there should have a get the student package. So click that. And then here you have three options for students and teachers and so on. So make sure you're on the student and teacher section and then click apply. Okay. And then once you click apply, and it's going to ask you to have a few options, just answer those questions. And they do make sure you do have a .edu account. So again, I prefer to use your school account and then just submit that. Once you click the submit apply, they're going to send you a confirmation email. Go through the email, confirm it, and then it's going to take you back to this screen again where you will put your username and password. Okay, once you get that in, then you should have an account with them. After that, just go back to JetBrains and install their products. So here is the IntelliJ. Get from here or go to the tools, and all the tools are here. Okay, so if you want to use Python, then use PyCharm. They have WebStorm for web development, PHP Storm for PHP programs, and so on. It's a lot of them. So you have a 1-year license to use that. Okay, so once that's done, then you can install IntelliJ, open it. Once you run for the first time, it's going to prompt you to choose I guess a theme or template. That I think just have the dark or the light theme. Here I chose the light theme. And then it's going to ask you to authenticate your account. Again, just use your JetBrains account you just created, log in, and then once you authenticate yourself, then you're going to get to this screen. Okay, so this is where we're going to start doing your project. Now, every time you launch IntelliJ, you may or may not see this screen. Here, I'm seeing it because I don't have any projects yet. So if you have projects created earlier, I think it's going to have on a column on the left side to show you all your recent projects. Okay, so now you just basically go and create a new project. Okay, you come to this screen here. Just make sure on the top left you select Java project, not Java FX or Android. We're doing Java project. On the top here, the SDK, I already have my Java SDK installed. If you don't have one, then it will be empty, but you can install it. And install these JDK is very simple. You can do all this within IntelliJ, so you don't have to go to Oracle site and download these packages, programs, right? So go click in there, and if you don't have, just say download the SDK, JDK, and it will tell you here several options. The vendor will be OpenJDK. I believe this is coming directly from Oracle. If it is, you see that the version is the latest version, the latest stable version with them. Or if you want to choose a different vendor, just go here and just pick something. And then they have other versions as well. As you can see, 1.8 is down here. So mine is kind of old, but it's version 8. Okay. And then just click download and install. It will do that for you. And so that's pretty cool, right? So once that's done, then select your SDK and don't add any of these libraries or frameworks. We're not going to use these. Just go next, and then skip the template here. Next again, and then this is the last screen where you have your name, your project name. Right? Every Java program must have a project name. So right now the location is defaulted to this area here. If you want to move it to a different place, just go there and navigate it. Type in here, or just click the ellipsis here and then navigate to where you want to put it, and then come back in here and so on. So let's just say I'm going to put inside. This is okay. I'm going to add not in the root project folder here, but let's say I'm going to put inside the GTC folder. As you can see, the last name here is the actual project name too. Okay, so I'm going to put it as a folder, and then inside here put Java 1, and then here would be my unit 1. Okay, so my unit 1 is the project name inside these. And these folders will be created automatically for you by IntelliJ. So just say finish. It says, you sure you want to create these? Say yes. And IntelliJ will create those folders for you, as you can see here, this URL path here. Okay, so now if you are a WebStorm or PHP Storm or Python user, you will see this interface is exactly the same. Okay, there's no difference. And if I expand that folder, you'll see that you have a folder called .idea. This is only used for IntelliJ or the JetBrains programs. They use this to track your work, right? As you move things around or things like that, they just use that to configure your application. If you're using different tools like Eclipse or Visual Studio Code, they have something similar. So just leave that alone. Now the rest of the file you can just leave them as they are. The one that you'll be working the most is inside a source folder, right? SRC, and this is where you put all your Java source code. Okay, this is the root of your project, Unit 1. This is in the source code we have your actual Java code. So to start, I recommend and always recommend that you put your code in a package. A package is, I guess, is nothing more than a directory. A directory to put all your similar project classes or files in the same location. Okay, if you don't put it, then it's going to put into the default directory or default package in the SRC folder, and that's not a good idea. Okay, so always create a package, and I'll tell you what that means. So if you go here, click on the SRC folder, make sure you do that right here. If you go somewhere else, it won't work. Click here, and you can do a right click and new Java class, okay, or up here file on the new Java class, same thing, right? So I'm gonna go here, new Java class, and then you give it a class name. Okay, you select the class and name. So here I'll put here hello Earth, my class name. Notice if I just do that, it's gonna hit enter. You see that it puts right inside the root directory of the SRC, right? And again, this is what I mentioned earlier. I don't want to do this. Okay, so you want to put it into a package in a directory. So you can create a package separately if you want. After this, you say, oh, shoot, I forgot to do it, right? Just right click on it again and then create new package and give it a name. So maybe, something like edu.gtc, that's my package name, okay? Again, each dot represents a directory. So then I can put my file inside here. Just click and drag, drop it in there, and just say, oh, refactor, okay. And you see that now my file is inside here now. And you see a package file line up there saying it's inside this edu.gtc package. Okay, to see what this looks like, if I go over here in the project directory, right click and say go to show in Explorer. Okay, you will see that your file is saved in this location, right? Inside the directory we started earlier in the Java 1. If I go back up, here is my GTC folder. In Java 1, here's my Unit 1 here. Inside of Unit 1, I have the SRC, has the EDU, has the GTC, and then there's my Hello Java, right? So this line is exactly the same as this one up here, right? Okay, well, and then goes down to your SRC folder. So that is where your file is located. So now you can start writing your code. All right. That's one way to create, your Java class, and then you create your packages separately. Or you can do it this way. Let me go and then delete everything again. Just right click and delete, or just press delete key and remove everything again. Okay, let's say I don't have this one here. Okay, I'm going to delete that too. I have back to where I started. Right click on it, create new class, and then you can create your packages right here. You can say I'm going to create inside a folder called edu.gtc, and then the last one is the name of the class. So again, hello Earth. Okay, we hit enter. You see that now these folders are created automatically, and your class file is in that directory, and then you just start using that, right? So much faster. And of course, you can drag and move this around, and IntelliJ will automatically refactor for you, which is really cool, right? Okay, so this is where you would start doing your code. And as you can see, it's really tiny. You can't see it on your screen. So I'm going to do a short configuration here. If you go to the view and just show the toolbar, okay, so you can see a toolbar here. Click on the wrench and to go to the settings. Under the appearance, if you expand that, go to the appearance. I want to show, yeah, I want to show, well, yeah, there's some features you can go through it and use. I'm not going to use this one here. Yeah, I'm going to go to the, let's go to the editor. Okay, editor, expand the editor to general. And I want to change the font size using the control and mouse wheel. You use that. Wrap your line of code. Okay, if you don't wrap it, it's going to scroll to the on your screen. You don't want that. So these are good. I'm going to change my font size from default 13 to something I usually use at 18. So you can see it's much larger. So again, just go in here and change whatever you need to do here for your tool. Okay, so let's just say that that's all I need, I think, for this one here. Okay, so click apply or click OK, and a little bit larger now. I should probably go a little bit bigger. Yeah, let me try a little bit bigger. Let's go with 20. Okay, yeah, much better. Okay, so it presented you with this new this default class called Hello Earth, and then it doesn't have the main method here. If you're using Eclipse, they have other options that to include, not include the main method, right? If you include it, then it will all be created for you automatically. Here, it doesn't have that feature, so you have to create it yourself. But it's really easy here, okay? So here, if I create my main method, I just type in the word main, and it will give you IntelliSense. They say, hey, you want this main method? Say, yeah. So just click enter, and it will create that for you, right? So that's what you need. If this is the main program that runs the application, then that's the one that you need. Okay, so really cool. And then now I could just do my system out. Again, if you type SOUT, you see that prints a string to the system. If you just say, yeah, I want that one, then it gives you that system out, that print line, right? Really cool. Or you can go and type in, a couple of SY system, and then dot, and then give you all these options, O for out, and then just hit tab, and then print, hit tab, and it will give you that as well. Okay, so either way, and then here just type your message, hello, and then here. Okay, so once you get that done, save your file. To run this file, as you can see, is this green play button right here next to it. Okay. Up here, these are not functional yet until after you run this for the first time. Then you can either run from here or you can run from up here. So for now, I'm just going to go and click play, run the Hello Earth main without debug. And once that's been building, a compile on the bottom, you can see, and you have your console output down here at the bottom. And you can move this around if you want to. But you can see that now my program runs fine. It tells you where the file was, the result, and then the return of that process. You have a 0, that means everything is good to go. Okay, and then now, as you can see on the top, my configuration, it was nothing before, it has something else, but now I have the file that I ran for the first time is now here, so I can play from here or up here now. So same thing, right? And then what you also see is that now the IntelliJ created a new folder called out here in orange on the left column. This is where your output is, your class, your compile file. So if you expand that folder, you'll see that it's in the production mode folder inside of unit 1 and my edu and GTC, and then there's the hello class, which is a direct map to this file. Hello Earth class. This is hello earth.java. It doesn't show you the extension, but it's Java. Now this is a bytecode, right? So that means if you open it, you'll see that just accept the license. Yeah. If you open it, you see that you can still read the file. Looks very similar to your source code, source file. It added a few comments, and then it added a default constructor. We'll talk about constructors later. but this is your main method here. It looks exactly the same as your original file. Okay, so normally you should not be able to see and read this. IntelliJ gives you this option. You can actually see the source code. If you try to change it or something, if I try to do it, it says file is read only. You cannot modify it. Okay. Now, again, this is a byte code, so usually you can't see it. Just to show you, if I go here again, right click on this file, and then show in the Explorer, so you can see in the Window Explorer. So this is a file, right? You see that it's .class. If I try to do a right click and show it in the Notepad, you see that it has a bunch of just gibberish, right? These are bytecode. So you don't want to modify this file here. If you do that, it's going to change your code and it has some errors. This is like almost like the finished product. Okay, so you see that you can't read it. You're able to read a few words like the hello earth and the hello, things like that, but this is not a bytecode. Okay, that's why you can't see in the code here, but IntelliJ gives you the option to actually see the actual result too, so which is kind of nice. But again, we're not going to mess up with this one here. We'll leave it as is. All your work will be done inside the SRC folder. Okay, so this is IntelliJ. As you can see, it's much shorter than you were to do this in Eclipse. Eclipse does give you a few things, a few shortcuts when you create your project, but once you're inside the project folder and everything is already created, then the rest is very much similar, very much the same. Okay, and yeah, these have a lot of shortcuts too. Later on when we create classes and you create getters and setters, all those stuff, all those features are also available here as well. So really cool. And then once you are done, you can just close your IDE. If you just close it from here, the next time you run it again, it's going to come right back to where you left off. Okay, if you did not close your project. So for example, if I just say yes to close it, okay, so if I run IntelliJ again, if I open up IntelliJ, and then it should load that last project I was working on. As you can see, we're back in here. Okay, if you want to see that, the welcome screen earlier, then you want to close it first. So if I go to File and close my project, and then it takes you right back to this screen here. And now you see that my projects are listed here. This is only one. If you create more, they'll be all listed here. And if you want to just use it, you can just open that here, or go to Open and then find it, right? So click on that, and you're back in again. Okay, so I hope this is helpful, and I hope you will maybe spend some time to use this tool. It's a really, really powerful tool. Again, it's not free, but I'm sure a lot of companies use this tool because of it's a really useful tool for most coders. So any questions, please let me know.